the towering peaks of the Woolajezi Mountain in Lofa County, to the golden plains of Bomi River Basin, through the verdant greens of the Sapo National Park, a place where monkeys whisper secrets, and pygmy hippos tread unseen, from the valleys, to the roaring coasts of Monrovia, Buchanan, Harper, and Robertsport. These are the voices that travel unfiltered, uncaged, and unstoppable. Welcome to the Liberian Voices Unfiltered, the platform where we speak the languages of the land, celebrate the cultures of our people, beat the drums of our tribes, and dance to the rhythms of our identity. This platform is more than just a broadcast. It's a movement, a megaphone for the people. No scripts, no sugarcoating, no stage management, just the truth, pure, bold, and proudly Liberian. Tune in, turn up the volume, and join your host, George Senator Sibo, the Pan-Africanist, shaking the mic, breaking the silence, and speaking for the nation and its people. The Liberian Voices Unfiltered. All hail, Liberia hail. It is raw, it is real, it is authentic. From the bushes to the beaches, this is our voices, our truth, and our story. It must be heard.
Tune into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia, where truth meets the people and every voice is heard. This is Liberian Voices Unfiltered. Oh, we're speaking truth tonight. Liberia, let your voices rise. Oh. To the hills of Nimba, we're bringing light where the truth's been hindered. Politics and power, let's break it down.
Oh, we're speaking truth tonight. Let your voices rise.
From the streets of Monrovia to the hills of Nimba, we're bringing light where the truth's been hindered. Politics and power, let's break it down. We talk the real, no mask, no crown. Economy shaking, but we still stand tall. Business and trade, we can uplift all. From the youth to the elders, we all gotta say, unfiltered voices paving the way. We are Liberian Voices Unfiltered.
Yeah, we tell.
All right. Good evening, good afternoon. Hello, our fellow Liberians. Wherever you are, however you're listening, this is your host, George Senator Sibo, on your favorite platform, the Liberian Voices Unfiltered. As you see on Facebook, we are going to be coming here to talk few things on national issues that are trending right now in Liberia. And then the way people look at it, we are going to provide our own perspective of it. Everybody look at issue differently. That's the reason why people are entitled to their opinion. So for today, our show is going to focus on two major topics. We're going to be looking at our judiciary branch of government. Our judiciary branch of government. So the judiciary branch of government is the branch that interpret the law. After the legislative branch make the law, the judiciary branch is entitled to interpret the law. So it includes the courts, all of the court system. So we're going to be looking at them. So we're going to be asking some questions. Is the judiciary branch adequately performing their roles? Are they adequately doing what they're supposed to do? The courts especially. Are the courts performing their constitutional responsibility? If yes, are they doing it effectively? Is there something that are being implemented to the core, that they are doing this thing with passion and to do it with integrity, with honesty? Are they actually doing the job? That is one thing we're going to be talking about. And then our next one going to be on. We all know the Armed Forces Day was yesterday. Our AFL, the day that Screaming Well came out and demonstrate. People saw them marching, looking good. You get what I mean? But there are few things that we must ask ourselves. The armed forces of Liberia, are they adequately prepared to defend us when there's any form of crisis? A lot of time people look at the AFL, look at army men walking, wearing uniform and think that, yeah, everything is well. For you to defend a nation, you must be prepared mentally. You must be prepared physically. So there are a lot of challenges that the military is facing that they can't speak about. We have so many people that have served, and we have served in that same system. So we know how it is. They say when you see the duck sitting on the water, you think that it's just sitting there having fun. But under there, it is pedaling. It is pedaling to keep itself afloat. If it doesn't do that, it's going to float, it's going to sink. So looking at our armed forces, the armed forces of Liberia, people see them looking at colors, the band blowing, and then everybody marching, yeah, the force for good, everything. But are they adequately prepared? Are they adequately ready? Do they have the requisite mechanism in place just in case there is a problem? So we're going to be talking into those two things today. We're going to be delving into them. Like I said, I'm not going to take long of a time today. Those are the two basic things I'm really going to be talking about. Our justice system, the judiciary. Are they performing their duty adequately? It's not just performing, but adequately. So the key word here is adequately. That means, are they doing it as per the way the Constitution wants them to do it? We have been talking about other branches. We talk about the executive. We talk about the legislative branch, that is the lawmakers. Today, we're going to be talking about the justice system because there's a trending issue that is currently ongoing in our country. So we have to talk about it. And we are going to be giving it from our perspective. It's not law and gospel. We're going to be giving it from our view, the way we see things and the way we ought to interpret it, how it's supposed to look from our own view. So we're going to be talking to that. So right after the theme song has been played, we are going to come and delve into it. Today, I'm not going to take much of your time. Today is Friday. I know a lot of people are busy. And people want to go and have fun, and there are other programs they want to tune into. So I'm going to be very, very brief on this one, just to keep my point on what it's supposed to be like. So right after the theme song again, I'm going to delve straight into the discussion.
Yeah. Yeah. You're tuned into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia, where truth meets the people and every voice is heard. This is Liberian Voices Unfiltered.
Oh, we're speaking truth tonight. Liberia, let your voices rise.
From the streets of Monrovia to the hills of Nimba, we're bringing light where the truth's been hindered. Politics and power, let's break it down. We talk the real, no mask, no crown.
Economy shaking, but we still stand tall. Business and trade, we can uplift all. From the youth to the elders, we all gotta say. Unfiltered voices paving the way.
Liberian voices, unfiltered. Yeah, we tell you how it is, no filter. Liberian voices, unfiltered. The people's mic, the nation's mirror. From Bukana to Bong, from Lofa to Cape Town, we talk the truth that really counts. Liberian voices, unfiltered. Yeah. You're tuned into the heartbeat of Mama Liberia.
All right, okay. So let us get into this topic, right? So we're going to first discuss our judiciary branch of government, the branch of government that is responsible to interpret the law. You see, when our forefathers, when those great people that established nations or established rules and regulations those days, that otherwise in their infinite wisdom, that government should be separated. We should have different branches of government, people doing different things at the same time. And each branch should have their own role and functions. One branch their function cannot impede the function of another branch. So they came up with something called the separation of power. The separation of power. And data back in history, for students of history and historiography. So when you look back to to ancient days, way back in England, ancient England, way back when most of at the time the Catholic Church was ruling the world. Catholic Church was the head of the church, they were the head of government. Most of those guys everything was being done at once. So one of the kings came up and said, you know what, we should separate church from state. That means the church should be separated from the state. Yes. And he came to do it. And it worked out perfectly. I'll tell anybody. Today, the state, that is the country, run independently or independent of the church. That was the same thing that evolved down when democracy came into being. They said, you know what? Let us separate the branches of government. Let us divide government into 3 separate branches. And each of those branches will have their own functions. One function should not impede another. And no branch is bigger than the other one. So that's how the issue of the 3 branches of government came to being. I know for sure, not to waste much of your time. So you have the legislative branch of government, which you call the legislature or lawmakers. Their job is to make the law. When they make the law, and they have 3 cardinal functions. 1, lawmaking. 2, representation of a people. And 3, having an oversight of what is going on within the other branches. Even though their function is not impeding other branches, but they're having an oversight. That means they can look and see what is happening there. If things are not going the way it's supposed to go, one branch can caution the other. So today, Liberia have emulated the scene. Liberia has decided to go on the same path as other democratic countries. They have chosen to adopt a democratic system of government, wherein we have 3 separate but equal branches of government. We have the executive branch headed by the president. We have the legislative branch that makes the law headed by the Speaker of the House of Representatives. And then we have the judiciary branch that interprets the law headed by the Chief Justice. That is how we do. So everybody work together for the goodness of the nation. The work have been done just so the government can function effectively. So my people, when you see the way the things work, everybody's supposed to be doing their job. And I will tell anybody, what makes America a great nation, or what makes other great countries become great, when other branches are falling apart, when other branches of government are going astray. For example, if the legislative branch that makes the law, if they are going astray, following just politics, if the executive branch are being carried away, it is the judiciary branch that's supposed to remain firm and stable. Because if there is an issue within the country, the judiciary branch and the courts are the arbiter of justice. And the bigger court, being the Supreme Court, is the final arbiter of justice within the nation. So, why am I saying this? There was a serious issue that has been going on in the country concerning Prophet Key. The court indicted him finally on contempt charges, brought him, and it was the Supreme Court indicted him because he reigned installed on the Chief Justice or at the Chief Justice and his mother or his family. And let me sign this caveat. I will make this clear to all of my listeners or anyone that will listen to the video. I am a decent man. I love decency in society. Insults are not acceptable in our modern society. You can't have people raining insult, especially on women. It is morally wrong. Traditionally, it is wrong. We don't encourage that. So I will sign this caveat before I continue. People that are involved with such things, such insult or such profanity on social media, especially where children, women, men are always focusing on watching them and going through. It is wrong for that to be happening in our society. Anyone that does that should be dealt with. I'm not against that part of it. No, I'm not against strengthening our society when we see it going wrong. But the question that I have today is why now? Why now? This guy have been doing these things for years. For more than 6 years, he has been doing it. Why the Supreme Court pick interest in it all of a sudden? Is it because the Chief Justice was directly affected? But remember, the same guy insulted the president. He insulted President Weah. He insulted President Weah's family, his wife, and everyone. He have even insulted President Joseph Boakai, the speaker. Everyone, he have insulted everyone across the country. Why the Supreme Court, the Chief Justice, that is the head of the Judiciary Branch of government, pick interest? Is it because he was directly affected? And then he used the court as a means to go after Prophet Key? When the court still had the opportunity to prosecute him for insulting other people? And I listened to the Chief Justice when he said that he decided to go after him this time around because the court was directly involved. So the court does not go out to look for cases. Cases go to the court. But unfortunately, the court went out there to look for cases. Because when you indicting Prophet Key, how did you see that? You went on social media to have seen it. Like I said, I am not encouraging anyone to get involved with profanity, with my cussing, being no. It's unacceptable in society. I will never do it. I will never encourage anyone to do that. But what I'm trying to say here is this. And when you look at the nature of the case, look at when the communication was served to him, when he was cited by the court to come and give reasons why he should not be held in contempt. Look at that time. And look at it today. Justice, a verdict was rendered, sending him to 6 months imprisonment. Under 1 week. Under 1 week, he was invited. He was found guilty. In fact, under 5 days. Let me be straight with it. Under 5 days. So, with this kind of situation, what comes to our mind? What do I see? So it indicates that indeed our courts have the ability to adjudicate cases on a short period of time and come out with closure and get a closure on a case. It is possible. Today, like I said, I'm reviewing, I'm looking at this thing from different angles how other people look at it. I'm looking at our court ability to adjudicate a matter, to start a case and end it and come up with a closure on the case within a short period of time. But why are we not seeing these things happening? But the Supreme Court just demonstrated today that it is possible to start a case under 1 week and end it under 1 week. Go and check the Supreme Court docket. Go and check Criminal Code A and Criminal Code B and C. Look at the docket. See how many cases on the docket that have never been adjudicated upon. They just stuck and partying up. Family are not getting closure on issues. But because the Chief Justice was affected directly, because Prophet Key insulted his mother, which he's not supposed to do at all, which I condemn, he picked interest on the case and summoned the whole, in fact, the entire bench, the full bench of the Supreme Court. So that means the Chief Justice can summon the full bench to deal with issues that are on the docket as quickly as possible, so that justice can be dispensed. So this showing to us that the court can only adjudicate cases quickly if they are directly affected? Is that why it's trying to show to us today? That if the court is directly affected, or someone within the court is directly affected, then the court pay more attention to that case and adjudicate it faster and find a closure on it. I mean, I want people following me here. You can give your comment on it. Write your comment on this live. We can put it up, we can read it, we can put it on the stream. If you are following me. I am not saying the court is wrong for indicting Prophet Key, or is wrong for sending Prophet Key to court, to jail. I am not saying that. What I'm saying is, so the court has the ability to adjudicate case within under 7 days and come out with a result. So why are all those cases on the docket? Look at the capital arson case, the burning of the capital case. That case is still hanging in limbo. Look at people being charged for rape. It is still hanging in limbo. Look at land cases. It's still hanging in limbo. But the Supreme Court was able to start a case from Monday. Before Friday, verdict was rendered and somebody's going to jail for 6 months. My people, y'all look at this. I don't know y'all seeing it from the angle that I'm seeing it from. I am not condemning the Supreme Court decision on sending Prophet Key to court. To jail. Because Prophet Key have violated every fabric of our society. Prophet Key, he broke every traditional norms of our culture. Women insult, profanity on such a mass social platform should not be embraced or accepted by anyone. But then my question, like I've been asking, why is the Supreme Court just seeing it? Why is the court system, the judiciary, just seeing it? Is it because somebody in the court was affected directly? That's the reason why the court decided to pick the case? But they said the court doesn't go look for case. But then other one, they went to look for it. Because Prophet Key said a thing, you send him an invitation to come to the court. So that means you actually went and invited him to the court. That aside, cases have been brought to the Supreme Court. Cases are all full on the Supreme Court docket. Why is the Supreme Court not making decisions on the cases? Why are they not deliberating these cases and coming up with closure so that justice can be dispensed in time? We all know that justice delay is justice denied. So why is the court, in their infinite wisdom, in their knowledge and understanding of the law, why are they not finding closure on these cases? And like I said, it is clear that today, justice, today demonstrate that indeed the court has the ability to start a case from Monday and end it on Friday. It has been demonstrated. The court have done. And remember, the Supreme Court is a court of record. So now a new precedent has been set that they can actually start a case from one day, in between 7 days, 5 to 7 days, they can come out with a ruling. So all the land cases that's on the docket, what happened? Rape cases on the docket, what happened? Capital arson case, the branded capital building, what happened? Corruption cases on the docket, what is going on? What is going on, my people? So the court telling me they are not dispensing this justice as quickly as possible because it's not directly affecting them? Is that the reason why the court will not make a decision on these cases? Remember, corruption has affected our country before. It was due to corruption and bad governance that our country plunged into 14 years of civil war because of corruption, because of exclusion and bad governance. That is the reason why our country suffered all the years. And I tell you the reason why Liberia is like that. During the 1980, from the 85 to 2000, that is when development was actually hitting Africa. And instead of our country being focused on development, we were focusing on killing ourselves. And all these things happen because of corruption, because of bad governance, because of injustice. That's why those things happen. And we all suffer the consequences of the Civil War. And now the justice system, our judiciary branch of government, are seeing all these things. Corruption cases are on their docket. Thousands, a lot of corruption cases are on their docket. What are they waiting for to pass judgment into these cases? Those cases, some of them have taken more than a year. More than a year. No judgment have been rendered. Rape cases are taking long time on their docket. None have been rendered. People are sitting in South Beach, in pre-trial detention. Justice has not been rendered. They have spent years there. Justice has not been served. Justice delay is justice denied. We all know that for a fact. Why is our justice system not treating us fairly? I'm not focused on corruption. I'm focused on you doing your job. The judges have one job: to hear cases. That is their job. Just the way the Supreme Court invested interest in perfect key case, because one of the elements in the Supreme Court, which is the Chief Justice, was affected directly. That's how the justice or the justices supposed to pick interest in every case to make sure that justice is being served. But in Liberia, it's completely on the contrary. Thousands of cases on the docket of the Supreme Court. Evidences are provided. They keep procrastinating, keep dragging it. And today, they were able to run a judgment into a case that lasted less than 5 days, or within 5 days period. They were able to run a judgment on it. Is that what you call being effective? Is that an effective justice system? It's going to get more effective when it's affecting someone within the court? Is that what we call effectiveness? Is that what we call the system is working? But there are people, children, people, fathers and brothers are being locked up. They are being locked up in South Beach and for awaiting trial. It's called pre-trial detention. The court have never heard of cases. They have not heard it. Corruption cases on their docket. No verdict. It been almost, there's a 3 year, 2 to 3 years, or even over 1 year. The court is yet to make decision on those cases. And knowing that it was corruption that brought war to our country. It was bad governance that brought killing in our country. The Supreme Court is supposed to look at what happened in the past and try to correct the wrong by passing verdict into corruption cases that will serve as a deterrent for who-be offenders, for people that are holding public office that are nursing the ambition of stealing public funds. If the court cannot run a decision in corruption cases, if the court cannot run a verdict into cases that have kept the people being impoverished, that have kept the nation backward, why you think, what message which message you think the court is sending to people currently in public office? That they can steal, and then after stealing, the case will get in court. It will linger there for thousands of years, and then statute of limitation will kick in, and then the case become irrelevant. That is the ball game the court is playing with us. And it is wrong. It is wrong. The justice system will say, oh, they don't have all the required money to put for. But the ones in the cities, the one in Monrovia, in the cities, the Supreme Court, all those appellate courts, at least they have the support they need to dispense justice. Why is justice being delayed? Fellow Liberians, I come here today, like I said, to talk specifically on on two things, and that is one of it. Our court system, our judiciary system is showing to us today, is demonstrated to us that the court can be more effective and more aggressive on an issue when it is affecting a member of them, when it's affecting a judge, or when it's affecting the court directly, which is wrong. The court is supposed to protect every citizen. Every case that goes to the court must dispense speedy justice. Trial should be heard, and then decision and determination should be made into the cases. And those cases now will have closure. That's the reason why Liberians are bitter. The Civil War over, a lot of people committed atrocities, a lot of people killed people, they injured people, they affected people. Today, justice has not been served. There is no closure. Because of that, people are still living with the bitter wounds. People are still living with hate and hatred for other people. One tribe against another tribe. Those are things that have the tendencies of creating civil war. And we saw that some years ago. The Supreme Court is the pillow of society. The justice system is the cradle of civilization, of our society too. They must uphold the rule of law. They must uphold the law. You must be able to dispense justice within time. Not just to dispense justice, but within time. Most of the cases out there is being lingering, and now statute of limitation have caught up with it. It's no more relevant. You can't raise it up again because the statute of limitation have caught up with it. They have met the timeline. Is that the way we want for people steal Liberian people money? Is that how you want it to walk away? Money that's always be used for hospitals, money that's always be used for school, money that's always be used for youth employment, money that's always be used for infrastructure development. Those monies are being stolen away by individuals. And when the cases get on the Supreme Court docket, or when it gets to the court, those cases are lingering in the justice system for years without closure. Without closure. I think we should revisit our democratic process. In my belief, if you ask me today, I will tell you, if it left with my one, judges, even judges of the Supreme Court, judges of the Supreme Court should be elected. They should be elected instead of appointed. Because when you are elected and you have a term, there is a good tendency that you perform. Look at America here. The justices, not the Supreme Court, but for other appellate court, for other court of appeal, other places, or court of common plea, they are elected by the district. They are elected. So when you go follow the system, they don't keep cases lingering on the docket because you're not going to be elected again. They render justice, especially when all of the evidences are provided, when everything you need to determine if that case actually happened, or or to make a determination in the case is available, and you just keep the case hanging on the docket, just keep postponing the case for no reason, it is bad. The court today demonstrated that indeed justice can be served with speed and accuracy. The court demonstrated today that if they have interest in a case, that case can be tried with speed and accuracy. But if they don't have interest in that case, if it does not affect them directly or indirectly, that case is going to linger on the docket for years until statute of limitation cut off it for those ones that have statute of limitation. So it is bad for our society. It is bad for the governance process. People commit crime, people commit offenses and walk away. They are walking freely within the cities. Freely. We're not saying that man cursing or abusive languages is good. No. Prophet King deserved what he got. I was even looking at longer prison term. 6 months, but the court in her infinite wisdom tempered justice with mercy. That's what God tempering justice with mercy. But I'm saying to you, Honorable Chief Justice and your associate justices of the Supreme Court, or all other justices or other magistrates, the same energy we put into Prophet Key case, why can't we put the same energy into other cases that are on our docket? The same velocity and speed and accuracy that we put into Prophet Key case to make sure that justice was dispensed within 7 days window. Under 7 days window, why can't we put the same energy in other cases that are on our docket? Especially people that are in detention. Cases of corruption on the docket. Cases of infrastructural development in our country are on the docket. Why can't you put that same energy, that same kind of rush, that same kind of agility that you just demonstrated that the court has the ability to do? Today, it showed to us, this 1 week showed to me, I was just watching, that indeed our justice system has the ability to dispense justice within time. It demonstrated to me that yes, our justice system can become robust, it can become powerful, it can become resilient by dispensing justice where justice is needed and time is supposed to be dispensed. Prophet King was charged just how long? I mean, he was invited to come and give reasons why he not be held in contempt. After 2-3 days he appeared, he never had a lawyer, he left. Later on he came back. After 2 days he came back. Today, justice is served. Under 7 days. I will be keeping saying 7 because 1 week is pretty good. Under 7 days, justice was served. So what is going on with all of the other cases on the docket? Can you use that same energy you use in Prophet Key case? Can you use that same velocity you use in the case so that you can expedite, so that you can speedily bring justice to other family, so you can bring speedy justice to the nation? Why can you use that same energy? The cases are lingering all over the place. They are there. They are there. And to the office of the Attorney General, or how you call him, the Solicitor General, I will say this. There are public defenders that are on government payroll, public defenders that have been paid with taxpayer money. Those public defenders, when the citizen need them the most, they are not available. They are not available. And in fact, when one of them is available, they treat the cases that they are assigned with a don't care attitude. That is wrong. You see, in other countries, that's why I all reference America. Public defenders want to make name for themselves. The defense attorney, The DA's office want to make mean that they prosecuted this amount of cases, they have this amount of caution, they have this amount of incarceration. Those are the glory, because at the end of the day, when they want to run for public offices, those are the information they provide, that we put criminals behind bars. We did this. We put rapists, we put harassers, sexual harassers behind bars. That is the glory they receive. But in Liberia, public defenders are the worst kind of people you ever want on your case. In America, I'm not saying they are perfect, but they show some form of a care attitude to cases when they are assigned to it. You have cases of molestation, you have cases of rape, to even get public defenders to defend the victim. Come on, they don't even do it. They're not even available. And it is imperative on the government, because once the issue is involving a crime, when it is a crime-related issues, public defenders should be provided to the defendant. The defendant had to go be looking outside there for a private lawyer, because that's the reason why most cases are not going to the court. Because public defenders are not available. Public defenders will not fight the cases like their life depends on it. Will not fight those cases to bring justice to the victims. So the victims are wondering, if I take that into the court, how am I going to find a lawyer? Because public defenders are not available. Public defenders, when you put them on the case, like you didn't put anybody on your case. And the government is investing taxpayer money into public defenders. Why is the problem? Are we not having qualified public defenders? Or the public defenders just choose to be irrelevant or make themselves irrelevant? They don't fight cases. They don't use their blood in. I mean, you should fight that your life depends on those cases, because that's where your recognition comes from. How many cases have they put to bed? How many convictions have they gotten? How many bargains have they gotten? Plea bargains have they gotten? Public defenders are not available. Please, Solicitor General or Attorney General, make sure your public defenders are available. One issue arising, especially when it comes to violence against women, crime against women, rape, sexual harassment, these are crimes under our law. You make public defenders available so that they can be able to cater to those cases. Now you have people that are already victimized running around looking for lawyers on cases that the government is supposed to defend them on. That the government is supposed to provide lawyers, that's supposed to provide public defender to defend them on. You can't find public defenders. They have to be looking for private lawyer. And the person is already poor, they are impoverished, no job, they can't get work to do, nothing. How are they even going to pay lawyers? Because public defenders are not available. And the ones that are available, either they don't care about the case, either you don't want you to give them additional money to do. You don't, then why you become a public defender? So, my people, just to clear my own day before I get to our next topic, because I only want to be here for 1 hour. I'm like around 40-something minutes. Our justice system should be able to dispense justice with mercy. The Supreme Court and other courts and other justices around must be able to have a closure on cases that are on their docket, not to keep those cases there. The same energy that the court put into Prophet case today, under 1 week, they were able to get a conviction. They were able to convict him and send him to prison for insult, raining insult on the justice or on women in general. That same energy can be put into corruption cases to bring perpetrators, those that have eaten, those that have stolen the public funds, those that mismanage public funds, should be brought to bear. Those are things that people, the court, supposed to be focused on. Even though a new record has been set, You can't go about just cursing people, parents, or cursing people using profanity on the social media. It's a new record that has been set, and I believe that this case will serve as a deterrent. I am not against the court sending him to prison. I am not against it, and I've said it. If I was on that Supreme Court bench, I would have done the same. But my thing is, the same speed and accuracy that you use to prosecute the case, under 5 days will come up with closure on this case. Please use it on corruption cases. Use it on cases that the people are in pre-trial detention in South Beach that they have not have closure on the case. Use it on the Capitol burning case and things. And other cases around, use that same energy. Please, justices of the Supreme Court or other courts or other judges. So this brings me to my second topic. The Armed Forces of Liberia. That is my home, where I came from. So we say the Armed Forces of Liberia, a force for good. The AFL, a force for good. You know, many times, and I said this from the beginning, opening of the show, when you see a duck sitting on the water or on the river, you think that duck is just relaxing. No, it's not relaxing. It is under there pedaling. It is pedaling with his legs just to keep afloat. When it stops, it's going to sink. And I will tell you today, you went out on Armed Forces Day, which was 2 days ago. You saw the AFL looking shiny, wearing uniform, looking glittering. Oh, yes, I want to join the AFL. Oh, yeah, it looked good. It looked gorgeous. But do you think that the government is paying enough attention to our military? Do you believe the government is providing enough fundings to support our military so that when there is eventuality, when something eventually happens, you think our military is up to par to defend our country? When you see people heard the band play yesterday, the marching, yeah, the AFL is the greatest, yes, but do they have the capacity to defend our country? Do they have the manpower enough to even deploy within the 13 countries? There is a problem? The answer is no. The government keep making promises to the AFL. Every Armed Forces Day, they make big promises that they will not fulfill. Oh, we will continue to train. For now to 2029, we'll improve up to 600 people. These promises are not being fulfilled. If you think I'm joking, go to the last Armed Forces Day, 2 years ago and even last year on, and hear the promises that were made and see the actuality of everything that have been happening. We all know the AFL always demonstrate new equipment when they have them during parade, during the Armed Forces Day parade. Some years ago, when the American Coast Guard gave us a couple of those boats are supposed to be using the river that our Coast Guard is using on the ocean, simply because the government is not providing the adequate tools that they need to work. When they brought those boats and they brought those few weapons, our Armed Forces Day parade, they put the boats on the wheel and rode them in the. People saw that, yeah, AFL got new equipment, AFL, yes. But I will say to you, and that has been a tradition. Every military that has new capability display what they can do. You watch North Korea, you watch China, you see America, Victory Day Parade, you see those things. They demonstrate new arsenals. They demonstrate new weapons. You can see for the past how many years, AFL have not demonstrated nothing. That means the AFL is not getting nothing new. Military is supposed to constantly evolve. The military is supposed to constantly have equipment, arm and ammunition to get ready. Because I will tell you, in warfare or when there is a crisis, in peacetime, you use that period to train the military. So that in wartime, the military will be familiar with the tools they're supposed to use. The military is acquiring no new technology in ammunition, nothing new. Everything we have in the under-barrel bases are old. And I'm not saying that to compromise or jeopardize national security. No, I'm not doing that. I am saying this for politicians, for the president to wake up and pay more attention to our military. Our military needs support. Don't see them wearing fine uniform walking around. So how many times are the military conducting drills? How many times are they conducting field training exercises? Because those are things that constantly keep the military in fit and ready for battle. Constant training, constant rehearsal. You can see other countries are evolving in constant drills, constant practices to keep them up to par, so that when something happens, they will be able to react. But our military, how often do you see them doing drills? How often do you see them doing exercises? Because those exercises, those drills require money. It's not cheap. You can't go to the range where you do firing range to perfect your firing skill with drill bullet. No, you need live ammunition. You need live bullets to go to the range to perfect your shooting skill. If a soldier cannot get a shot, he is as useless as a Kobo Oma. Very useless. I mean, I'm not saying that because the Kobo Oma is useless per se. I'm just saying that he's equivalent to her in terms of not even being a soldier. Because the soldier, officers and soldiers supposed to be well prepared when there is crisis for them to intervene. And how do they get prepared? They get prepared through trainings, through exercises, and through drills and ceremonies. And those things don't just happen. They need resources. They need money. You have to provide the requisite amount of money, amount of finances and support that the armed forces need to keep themselves prepared and ready, so that when there is a problem, they can be able to effectively respond. And every time I say this, people think that I'm just saying it because I love to talk about the military. It is a fact. Nowadays, around the world, every country that is well-meaning, every country that wants to see their territory be defended, they want to see that people in peace and harmony, they spend majority of the budget goes on defense and security. How much money are we giving our AFL? How much money is being allocated for the Ministry of National Defense? When you take our salary, what is being demonstrated there? When you take our salary, what remains for the AFL? What remains? How can they perform drills and ceremonies? How can they perform those exercises? I think I should have something here to display a little bit. We see this one? No. So I'm constantly talking about this. Our military looks good from the outside. They look shiny. People see them and admire the foes they want to go in. But our government is not paying much attention to our military. And I will say this, and I'm continuously saying it. Our military needs support for training and exercises. They need support for arms, ammunition, and military equipment. We don't have those things. Our military is not equipped. All of our neighbors are far better in terms of numbers, how many personnel they have. They are well prepared in terms of military hardware. They are well prepared in terms of military technology. They are well prepared in terms of army ammunition. How much can AFL demonstrate? For the past how many years, AFL has never paraded any new military equipment. For more than 5 years. No new military equipment. I mean, equipment that can be used to defend our country. No new equipment. I'm saying that because I love our country. People must say, oh, nothing will happen. The country is not at risk. But it is during peacetime that you prepare the military for wartime. United States is not at war with anyone, but they are training every day. They are conducting drills, they are conducting ceremonies, they are conducting exercises to keep the military fit and in power. We need to do that. Politicians that are listening to me, it's not when something happens, then you say, okay, we're going to go and buy jet plane for the AFL. Who's going to pilot the jet? Who's going to ride that plane? If you take $20 million, just go buy $20 million for military equipment because something is happening, how are they going to use that equipment? Are they trained to use the equipment? That is not how the military functions. I know the military leadership, they are trying their best. I know they can't come on show like this to express how they feel about the way things are happening. I know they can't go on radio to express it. But deep down within themselves, they know we are speaking for them. They know we are saying exactly what they are feeling. They don't have that thing because when I was in the military, I know I had the ability to do this. I couldn't even do it. But now that I serve and I know how we were affected, and I know how limited our military is in terms of, in fact, what really baffles me is technology. We have zero form of technology. Can the military, can AFL boast of 2 drones, that they have 2 to 3 drones that you can just put in the air to go and do air surveillance? Can they boast of it? Let's forget about aircraft. Let's forget about helicopter. Let's forget about boat. Drones that are cheap. You can buy a drone for $400, $500. You can buy a drone for $1,500. You can buy better drones for $5,000 to $10,000. Drone that can go in the air and spend hours and take good area photographs, take good surveillance and patrol. Do we have it? We don't have it. Our military is zero in terms of technology. We are backward. Our military is still using AK-47 at this point, when other military are improving on a weapon system. Somebody will say AK is effective. It is effective, but you have to upgrade at some point. We're not telling you to get rid of AK, but we're trying to tell you to upgrade. To upgrade. Now there's a serious climate change taking place. You think when the climate change take real effect, you think AK is going to be really effective? No. The reason why Africa are using it because it's the sun shining and good with the weather. But at some point, you need to upgrade. I see a lot of people wanting to join the military. A lot of people are fighting to pass that military test to join. Yes, are they really joining because they love the military, or they want to join because they don't have any other means of getting job? The military should be about service and dedication. And when people are providing their service and their dedication, they need to be taken care of. They need to be taken care of. The greatest service that a man can give his country is the service in which a man is willing to lay down his life for his fellow man, lay down his life to defend his country. That is the greatest service that anyone can provide. For those of you that are Christians, they said Jesus, God sent his only begotten son to lay down his life for mankind. So that means that is the greatest service that God could give us, to send his son to die for us. So in the same vein, if a man is willing to die for his fellow man, that is the greatest service that man can provide for a nation. But look at our armed forces. In peacetime, are they having what they need? The barracks, look at the barracks. Up to now, our military women are still using hand pump to pump water. There is no running water in the barracks. No running water. They still go to fetch water with hand pump. During peacetime, it's when the military is supposed to have that kind of luxury of enjoyment while they are training. So you train, enjoy a little bit, so that when something comes out, when there is eventuality, you will be able to respond. So that when you give your life up for your country, you can say, yes, I know that when I die tomorrow, my family will be taken care of. I know when I get injured tomorrow, my family will be taken care of. Is that the case in Liberia? The answer is no. So you think you will have a military that will be dedicated to laying down their life for the nation? You saw what happened during the Civil War. A lot of people dropped down their weapon and ran away. They didn't run away because they were simply afraid. No, they didn't put their weapon down and join rebel group because they could not fight. No, they did that simply because they looked at their life, how many years they have put in the military. They look at where their family currently is. They look at what benefit will they receive if their family died. When they look back, they saw zero. They saw zero. Can the government show me that when a serviceman dies, how much is on books that their family are going to receive? That is there by law that they're going to receive when the family man dies? And that money, even if it is on the book, is it sufficient to take care of the family? People will say, oh, you want to compare America with Liberia? No, not comparing America with Liberia. America got something on the book. When an active duty soldier dies, when you die in active duty or in the dispense of your duty, $400,000, your family signed for that check. Almost $500,000. That's a life-changing money for the entire family. People have gone on suicide mission for $50,000, for $100,000. Then imagine a government giving my family $400,000 when I die. I will lay down my life for that because I know my family will be in a better place. My family will be better suited. Even though my life no more, but my family will be taken care of. That is how you treat a military. That is how a military will be willing to give down their lives when there is a problem. But look at our military today. Go and check the barrel. Look at the schools for the soldiers and the officers' children. The school is not up to tax. The children are not getting the required education they need. Look at the military pay. The pay is so low. They cannot even receive good pay to even take care of their family. Somebody will say, oh yeah, a little bit better than other countries. But look at the inflation rate in Liberia. Look at that. If we need our military to be in defense of us, we must do better. We must allocate requisite fundings, requisite money that will help the military to be a force for good. To be a force that neighboring countries will reckon with. Right now, what is the strength of the military that you know? You have less than 2,000 men. Less than 2,000 men to a population of almost 5.6 million or 5.5 million. You got less than that. Look, proportion of soldier per population. And what's upon that? If you cannot even take care of the current less than 2,000 men you have, you cannot pay them well, you cannot provide requisite medical and housing stuff for them, because I know both our soldiers, they find it difficult now to have the 44 Reference Hospital. That's a good thing, it's kudos. But then make sure that we have drugs in our play every time. Let's make sure that we have the requisite doctors in there that will be able to provide the amount of care that our soldiers and their dependents needs. I'm saying this because I love the military. I love the military. It is something that I went to school to learn. Military administration. It's something that I went to school. I spent all those years in the academy learning how to perfect. And when I look back and see some of my colleagues, I see some of my fellow officers and soldiers struggling. You got captains, majors are still riding motorbike, still on the road stopping car to get to work or to get to places with uniform on and their major ranks and their captain ranks on their shoulder. They are still looking for cars, stopping car. But you have People call representatives and senators, they are riding $45,000 to $60,000 car. They get $2,000 gas slips every month. But you have people that have dedicated their lives to defending our nation. You have them trekking. You have them riding motorbike. Majors, they cannot even when they save 2 years, they don't even have sufficient to pay for a car. How much are they being paid? How much are they being paid? How much? I know sometimes the military leadership have to show that they're doing something, that they're working. We understand the drill. We understand the standard. You have to do something to show that, yes, you're not just sitting and folding your hands, even though you are constrained. Now they look at how many officers they commission. How many medical officers they commission. You commission all the officers, but you have the soldiers that the officer will come in. You know it's proportional. Set the amount of officers to set the amount of soldiers. We agree. You're training the officers. Yeah, we need officers. But look at how much soldiers you got. Is it proportional? Who are they going to be commanding? Look at the medical corps alone. How many soldiers do you have in the medical corps? And look at how many officers you commission there. Is it proportional? You commissioning all those people. Yeah, they are nurses. They are some of them are doctors. Yeah, you commission all of them. But who are they going to command? Who are they going to control? It's not just because of getting the rank. The rank comes with command and control. Who are they going to be controlling? Who are they going to be commanding? We know you're trying to do your best to make things happen. And now you are promoting officers. You are promoting commissioning officers when even the salary is not even available to pay them yet. Officers are writing promotion exams. They are completing their promotion exams. They are elected. They are qualified for promotion. You are not promoting them in the name of there is no fund in the budget for that. That they appropriate the fund. But the officer went through the promotion exam. They have passed their promotion exam. They are qualified for promotion. But you are not promoting them because there is no money in the budget for that. How shameful it is. After keeping somebody in a rank for all the years, time reached for them to be promoted, they can't even get promoted. The government needs to provide adequate funding to the military to keep the military running. When you got officers that are supposed to be promoted, officers that have met their quota of a particular rank and required to be promoted to the next rank, and they have gone through all of the formalities that require them to be promoted, if they can't be promoted because there is no money, they get disenchanted, they get frustrated. It can be a frustrating thing. So I need government officials to hear this. You got officers, you got maybe other soldiers or other people that are promotable, that have already been promoted or promotable, that they cannot move forward because the military does not have the requisite fund to pay them. Is that the kind of military who call force for good? How good is that kind of force? A force where there is disenchantment, there is dissatisfaction. People being promoted, people being commissioned, but I can't move forward. I can't be promoted because there is no fund. Or even when there is fund, somebody is holding the promotion. Is that the kind of force you call force for good? That is not fair. That is not a good thing. The government must be able to allocate money. And the thing is it's funny. Everybody knows that the military gets promotion. People in the military are due for promotion every year. Because everybody joined the military at different point in time. So when you have a year, some people in a year starting in a particular rank, some people in a year ending in a particular rank, they need to be promoted. So funding needs to be provided in the military every year for those promotions. They say that it's not being captured in the budget. So you got military officers, you got soldiers that are due for promotion, they can't be promoted because there is no money in the budget for them. Somebody will say no money in the budget. Somebody will say, oh, we're waiting here small. Why will you do that? Is that a force you call force for good? The military must be treated with fairness. Everybody within the system should be treated with equality. Everybody should be treated with justice. When you're promoting people, when the time reaches to promote them and pay them. When you're commissioning people, when the time reaches to commission them and pay them. You can't be creating flow show, demonstrating that you are doing this, but then the actual reality is that people are not seeing what is actually happening behind the scene. Everybody is saying, yeah, the military good professional, this one, everybody's talking this one. But is the military happy deep down in themselves? Are they receiving the kind of care? Are they receiving the kind of the kind of support that they need? How many times is the military going for firing drills to the firing squad to perform their marksmanship principle? How many times are they doing it a year? How many times are they conducting bush exercises, going for drills and ceremony? How many times the Coast Guard is, at least other navies or other navies yet are helping the Coast Guard in terms of their drills and exercises? For what wrong? How many years the air wing? How much is a piece of helicopter? How much is a piece of aircraft? I showed it in Cessna aircraft that our military can get. You can start with military transportation. Just little. Start with military transportation. You can be taking government official jet from Monrovia to Maryland, from Monrovia to Sano. Just like that. Your Air Force, your pilot will remain active. Their knowledge will still remain viable. Why can you do that? But you got a bunch of people sitting there making $2,000 for gas slip every month. When your military has no basic necessity that it needs to survive. You think when there is something, you think when something spark up, you think you get military to come outside and defend you with AK-47? I will tell you today, even when you stay in Banga, that is closer to our borders with other countries, when you stay in Banga, the military does not have a weapon that you can shoot from Banga into any of our neighbor countries. You don't have that capacity. They don't have it. And you think you have a force for good because you're wearing uniform? The military is under uniform. What about the equipment? What about the army ammunition? What are we doing to better our force? The government needs to do better. You don't have that capacity. Our military is not up to that strength. And to our military leaders, I want to say thank you to some extent. You guys are doing your best with the amount of resources you guys have. You are doing your best. But you guys have to constantly engage government. You guys have to use your persuasion power. You guys have to use, we're not telling you to use any force. You guys have to use your lobbying power because the budget emanates from the legislature. You guys will have to lobby with somebody to increase the budget. If that's the way your force will be better, you have to do it. Imagine you serving as a chief of staff or a deputy chief of staff and the military does not progress under your watch. What would generations say about you? Imagine you serving as a chief of staff or as a deputy chief of staff. There is no solid progress. There is no legacy for you. What is the generation going to say about you? Those are the things that are supposed to be ringing beyond your mind. If I'm in this capacity, when I leave from there, what are they going to say for me, about me? And you have that opportunity once. It's a scene when you are the president, or you are the speaker, or you are the chief justice. That opportunity comes, but once. You only get once in your life to serve it. You can't leave as chief of staff and come back as chief of staff. It will not work. That few years you have as chief of staff, make sure that your legacy counts. That few years you have as a brigade commander, make sure your legacy counts. That few years you have as a deputy chief of staff, make sure your legacy counts. The few years you have as a Coast Guard commander, make sure your legacy counts. The few years you have as AFTC commander, make sure that your legacy stand out, so that tomorrow when you're not there, people can say, oh yes, I hope Major this or this, I hope Colonel this or this, I hope Brigadier General this or this, I hope Major General this or here. Let your legacy stand and speak for you. I really want to see our armed forces doing better. I really want to see things working in our armed forces. I want to see our soldiers, our officers being treated. I know in Nigeria, because that's where I got my training, Nigeria has a very high standard when it comes to the military officers and their soldiers. They're high standard. You will never see even a second lieutenant or a staff sergeant or a warrant officer in Nigeria stopping car or stopping motorball. You will never see that. You can never see it. All the years, 6 years that I spent in Nigeria, I did not see an officer on the road riding motorbike or stopping car. I did not see that. Because mechanism has been put into place wherein as you are leaving the defense academy, you are good. The government has saved something enough for you to get your car. Because there is a pride and dignity in the officer's corps. You carry yourself as an officer, as a gentleman officer. That's how it's called, a gentleman and an officer. But you can't blame the people from riding motorbike. The man get a car, what you do? Nigeria put in a kind of scheme, a kind of place wherein at the rank of captains, you can go to any car dealership. They were using a Peugeot, the Peugeot garage, Peugeot. You can walk to Peugeot garage and sign up for the brand new car, and there will be deduction made from your salary monthly. The government negotiated with car companies, will use car companies, with new cars companies on behalf of their officers. Is our government doing that? You got military officers, captains, and majors riding motorbike. The only motorbike they got, riding motorbike. What is the dignity in that? What is the pride in that? You got warrant officers, you got staff sergeants, you got sergeants. They are riding motorbike. You can put in system in place. The government can put in mechanism, discuss with its leadership so that our military can take cars, our officers can take cars, and then they can use those cars, and then they be getting the pay out of the cars. They be getting the pay Monday from their salary. But how much is their salary that when you even take a card note from them, that you even take out money to pay for your car? It's nothing. What are we leading to? Where are we headed to? Then when the military misbehave and take power, then they say, oh, Liberia is known for having a military coup. Yes, because the government has failed to cater to the military. Other countries are doing it. Other countries are catering to their military. Other countries are making sure that the officers, their senior enlisted, their NCOs are being treated with pride and dignity. Go there. Go to the officer mess. Look at the officer mess, where the officers sit to entertain themselves. Go and see other country officer mess. You will wonder if that's a presidential party, if there's a place where the officer come to entertain themselves. They wonder. You will wonder. But look at our AFL. It's not that the leadership can do it. They don't have the resources. You're not giving them enough resources to do that. Even though by themselves, they're supposed to be able to improvise. The essence of being the commander-in-chief, the commander of a brigade, or to be the deputy chief of staff or the chief of staff, is your ability to lobby and make your armed forces stand up. You can lobby with other businesses. You can lobby with other people and make your force a force for good. To some extent, not to every extent. We're not telling you can lobby to bring in ammunition because it requires government to buy it. But you can lobby with other entities within the country. Furniture companies and things. You can make the officer mess. You can make the officer, you can make it up to real standard. That when people come and sit and say, this is the armed forces of Liberia officer mess. All units should have those kind of mess. All units should have it. We know it's not being seriously appropriated in the budget. But you can lobby with those legislators, lobby with those lawmakers. They want the army people. You know what I mean? They say the chief of staff going to visit the man, Senator Days tomorrow. The chief of staff going to visit the speaker tomorrow. He know you're going to put the military ahead. You know you're going to talk about the military. The military should be able to come in, write proposals, plans and proposals in terms of strategic development of the armed forces. We understand the long year thing you came up with, the Sunday strategic plan. I went through the plan, I read some of it. But, I mean, you have to lobby to make that plan work. Everywhere around the world, people lobby. Because the politician does not see what you see. They don't see it. People have the leadership, the charisma, the quality to lead people. But yet they say how to run for election. They say how to campaign. They say how to lobby with people to vote for them. Because that's how the world is. You have to lobby with people. You have to lobby with constituency. You have to lobby with the power that be. Lobby with the ministers. Lobby with them. You are the chief of staff. You are the deputy chief of staff. You are the minister of defense. You can lobby with your colleagues. Make sure they put something good in the budget for the armed forces. You can do that. Nobody will object the budget if the armed forces has good money. No one will object it. It is your responsibility to do that. That's why you are in charge. You're not going to be fighting them. You're not going to make palaver with them, but you're going to use your military skills. You're going to use your tactics. You're going to use your ingenuity in making them to do what you want. There are a lot of things that should be going on annually for the armed forces, for the soldiers and the officers to benefit. For example, in Nigeria, there's something called the Tombola Night. At the end of the year, there is a big festivity that takes place for the armed forces. Like on Armed Forces Day, it's a series of events. You do the Tombola Night. Tombola Night, wherein the armed forces, a particular command or a particular unit, lobby. For example, you lobby with other businesses, people that are bringing television in. You go there, they give you guys it at a discounted price. Couples, big 75-inch, 50-inch, 35-inch television. You go to the mattress company, look at that, look Foco. You negotiate, they give it to you at a discounted price. You go to Cimeco at a discounted price. You lobby with all of these entities that are producing and that are selling stuff in the country. You buy them at a very low price. Some of them you can even write them to support the armed forces. They will give you items. They will give you stuff. You use those items during the Tombola Night, or you can give it any name, wherein soldiers and officers can do raffle draw to improve their household. They can win those things through raffle draw. They can win TV. They can win refrigerator. They can win everything, in small things in their houses to start keeping their family alive. They can win anything. You know what I mean? You win a 75-inch TV or 35 or 40-inch TV. It's a good thing. It keeps your family home. It makes you feel that, yes, the armed forces is doing something for us. So when you are in leadership, you should be thinking outside the box to make your armed forces better. Think outside the box. What do I do? Which initiative do I bring in? The Nigerian military does that. When you hear Tombola Night, we can give our own any kind of traditional name. When you go to that place, the campfire, that you see people with a raffle draw ticket in their hand, people winning generator, people winning air condition, people winning zinc, people winning cement, people winning rice, people winning oil, beans. They're winning different things. These are where you support the military. You invite, during that Tombola Night, you invite government officials, you invite other businesses. They come there and see how the things that they are giving out, how the soldiers are benefiting. Then after that, you get journalists, interview soldiers, how they feel about it. Well, how can they see better their family life? How having a 75-inch TV is going to help them, help their family. Because the soldier cannot afford to buy a 75-inch TV. They can't even afford to buy 45 or 50-inch TV. Some of them can't afford to buy a refrigerator. They can't afford to buy a freezer in the house. So if you having this program that they can win it through raffle draw, and you can make it on a merit base, soldiers that are demonstrating themselves, that are doing well, you can put them in the raffle draw. They can go in there. And you're not saying it's going to be free, but the price is going to be very, very affordable. You're not going to give it to them free. It's going to be affordable because you want to have the thing every year. But you're not going to be doing it for profit. You're going to be doing it just so they can win some stuff and take out the sale. It's not for profit making. For example, if you go out to Lefoco say, okay, we're going to give 50 mattresses or 25 mattresses to the AFL. Lefoco gave 25 mattresses, they might give it free. After they give that free, you can take that and say, thank you for giving this 25 to all free, but we need another 25. If you give it to all at a discounted price, they give it to you at a discounted price. So when the mattress is sold for $50, doing the raffle draw, you can do it for $25. The soldier will win a mattress that his family can later on for $25. There is no entity in Liberia that is not willing to support the army, that is not willing to support the armed forces of Liberia. The leadership armed forces should be thinking outside the box to make things work for them too. We understand budgetary allotment. It's not great, but you have to lobby with the people too. Lobby with your lawmaker, lobby with the speaker, the pro temporary. You are the chief of staff. You are the minister of national defense. There is no way you go to lobby with the people that will turn their back on you. They will not do that. People are Fuller, Major General Fuller, do something. You can go outside. You can think. You are a thinking man. You have interacted a lot. I know you, people. You are a smart gentleman. Smart people. I know you can do it. I want next Armed Forces Day. Between the period next Armed Forces, I want to see you coming up with that kind of initiative. Let soldier win some stuff. I want to see those things. And I know you can do it, people. Major General Fuller, you can do it. So please, I decided to take 1 hour, but I'm going 1 hour 27 minutes. I'm taking a long time. So let me wrap up with this. I will always come here. Like I said, because of my business schedule, I will be coming on Tuesdays and Fridays because of my business schedule. Until we can get people to join us to help us run the platform, we'll be doing Tuesdays and Fridays. That's the best I can do for now. Every time here, we're going to speak the issue. We're going to speak truth to power. We're not afraid of anyone. We don't just complain. We give recommendations. We don't just criticize. We critique, and then we come up with viable recommendations to make things work. We can get it done. We can get it done. And I say kudos to our military leaders. The Armed Forces Day program was so great. The uniforms were all shiny, especially the band unit uniform. That uniform looked so great. It was perfectly sewn. It looked really, really fantastic on them. Yes, that's a very brilliant work. That person did a great job with that uniform. That uniform is great. And then I see the quartermaster, they say the quarter guard or something. I see them too with that great uniform. That blue uniform look great. Those are initiated that I want to see coming out of the armed forces. Those are initiated. I know people that Fuller got. And I know people that Dinah get those kind of initiated too. General Dinah. I know they get those things in them. You bring it out. Bring those things out. Look in the corner where the ones are hiding. Look at your closet, dust it out, and bring out those ingenuity. Let our military remain gloomy. We will continue to advocate to the government. We will continue to advocate to policymakers to support the armed forces. That is our job. We are not there. We know how we suffer when we're there. We want to see our colleagues being better. We want to see things working for our colleagues in the future. So I will say thank you. And then, like I said, our first topic was on the justice system. To climax, I will say the justice system is one of the pillars of every nation's civilization. It's one of the pillars of every nation survivability. When other systems, when other services, when other branches have failed, the justice system is supposed to remain standing. So, Mr. Chief Justice and members of the Supreme Court and associate justices of the Supreme Court and other justices of other subordinate courts, I want to say to you, the justice system have shown to us that they have the ability to adjudicate case within 5 to 7 days, that they can come out with trial from in 5 to 7 days and prosecute people. Prophet Key's case today demonstrated that yes, somebody can be charged, somebody can be called in, and the trial can take place speedily and justice can be served. Like I said, the disclaimer I made from the beginning, I am not against Prophet Key going to jail. I am not against Prophet Key. I'm not in favor of Prophet Key insulting women. I'm not in favor of Prophet Key using profanity on social media platform. I'm not in favor that I have been against it from day one. And I'm happy that the justice system can finally put an end to it today. But the same energy that the justice system used to prosecute Prophet Key and run after him and put him in jail within the period of 5 to 7 days, let them use that same energy to prosecute corruption charges, to prosecute rape charges, to prosecute arson charges, people that burn the Capitol building. Let them use it. Let them use that same enthusiasm, those same energy that they use behind Prophet Key today. I want to use that same energy in all of the cases. There are thousands of cases on the docket of those courts. Let it use that same zealousness, that same agility to run behind Prophet Key and get him and prosecute him. In 7 days, he's in jail for 6 months. You can do that for corruption cases. The facts are there, evidences are there. Stop keeping those cases on the docket. Use that same energy used on Prophet Key today and prosecute cases and go and try cases and come up with closure. Liberian people need closure, especially when it comes to mismanagement of public funds. And the one thing I needed to say that I didn't say, let me rush on that quickly. The justice system, there are some things that people look at where they're supposed to make some perfect decision quickly. Look, the case of Brandon Samuka, they dragged that case. At the end of the day, they said Brandon Samuka should restitute the money, but Brandon Samuka was walking on the street as a free man. We are talking about a man that ate the army people money, people that carry guns, people that have the ability to cause chaos, crisis, and perpetual degradation in the country. That man stole the military money. Brandon Samuka stole the military money. He lied that the president told him to take it. Even if the president had told him to take it, he served the military before. He's supposed to have a common sense to know that you cannot take unlawful orders. The order was unlawful. If it were given to him, he should have reneged and tell the president, Mr. President, I can't do that. He took the military money, he mismanaged it and used it on his own, used it to go run campaign in Lofa County to become senator. But then the court found him guilty, but the court allowed him to be roaming the street free. That is not justice. When people are executed for such a high amount of corruption, high amount of embezzlement or mismanagement, they should be put in prison. They should lock them up. Brandon Samuka should have been locked up in prison. He should have been in prison, laying down there. It is a president prerogative. It is the president authority to pardon criminal. The Constitution gave him that authority. But people that Brandon Samuka should not have been parading the street, walking around, thinking that they did nothing wrong. They should have been locked up in prison. The same way Prophet Key is going to prison today, that's how Brandon Samuka and those co-conspirators supposed to be in prison. They ate the military money. And like I say, I don't need favor from nobody. I don't care how you feel. I don't care how you think about me. I will not insult you. I will not curse you, but I will tell you, if you are a criminal, you are a criminal. Brandon Samuka is a criminal. Even though he was pardoned, he was a convicted felon that's supposed to be in prison. They should have locked him up in prison. To see how when you steal other people from other people, how it can hurt, so that he can go to prison and stay there. But the justice system allowed Brandon Samuka to be wallowing in the street, passing around like a free man, like he did nothing wrong. At the end of the day, the government president pardoned him. Samuka did not smell prison. So he felt that what he did was right, and he felt that he can do it again. And now, my disappointment again to the government, President Joseph Boakai have reappointed, I brought him back to government. President Joseph Boakai have appointed Brandon Samuka back to government. Sometimes I wonder, the man served as defense minister for 12 years. He served as police director. He served as the head of the Black Beret. All the years he have been tapping on government, on taxpayer money. They said that he don't have enough to take care of himself or create a private business or run in the private sector. Why we keep wallowing these people, keep wallowing back in politics? Now the government already, we're talking about the government being large, spending a lot of money. Or before, let me leave the topic. That will be another topic. That will be another discussion. I don't want to take all your time. I will come back on the yellow machine, on the appointment of that yellow machine board, and then I will use that opportunity to delve into Brandon Samuka issue and tell the people why the president should withdraw Brandon Samuka nomination. Why the president should withdraw that his appointment. He don't have to do it. I will just have to speak my mind. People might see him as a shining star, but he's a corrupt, he's a convicted felon, he's a criminal. He robbed the member of the armed forces. He took our money, he ate our money without remorse, without care, and he lied about it, and he still feel confidence. Today he get on social media, get on the radio, and talk tabata. But I will tell it to him. The next discussion is going to be on a yellow machine, on the board of the yellow machine, the establishment yellow machine meteor board. I'm going to talk about that in my Tuesday's discussion. So I want to say thank you, everyone, for joining us. For those that wrote your comment, I see your comment. We will interact with it appropriately. Seeing everything, and I pray that you do share the live. Share this live. Other people are busy now; they can't see it, but they might be able to see it later. They might be able to interact with it. Share it on your page. Invite your friends to follow it. So if you know some of the politicians that I've been talking about, tag them into it. If you know members of the military, senior officers or soldiers and things, tag them into it so that they can be able to watch it and they can be able to talk about it. They can be able to give their comment on it. I know I've talked a lot, and I want to say thank you for tolerating everything that I do. And I know on this platform, I'm always careful in terms of not cursing anyone, in terms of not using vocal languages, and I will not do that because I'm a decent man. I will never do that. I will discuss the issue, I will discuss the topic, and I will not discuss things that will bring ridicule to society, or that will publicly ridicule the society. So I say thank you, and God bless you. Till we meet again on Tuesday, I'll say ciao.